Why are we here? Why does it matter? Do you have any doubt that you are here? Do you have any doubt in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in your feelings, in your presence in the world? I hope that you don't. I hope that you, on some level, know that you have an unmoving center that is you, and that you cannot doubt that you are, and that you are here. Now, why eludes us? It's a question that many have asked, and there is some basis for even asking whether the question is valid. You see, language has a way of making us believe that there are problems that are not problems. Language has a way of suggesting that simply because an arrangement of words has a kind of sense, that it has sense. And oftentimes in this world, there are many things that seem to have sense that actually make no sense at all. Indeed, I think that everybody who lives through these first interesting times that we happen to be living in can very well know for themselves how little sense things that make sense can make. Lewis Carroll once said, why make sense when you can make nonsense? And while the man himself was sus, to say the least, I do like that expression. Why make sense when you can make nonsense? Indeed, language makes nonsense all the time. I can ask you, where is the color purple located? And you could probably come up with some kind of an answer to that question. You could find a purple object and point to it, for example. But that is not the same as purple itself. Or perhaps you can locate a copy of the movie, The Color Purple, and say, here it is. You see, our human minds, when combined with language, have a way of making sense out of nonsense, making patterns appear. For example, we know that scientifically, our minds are more or less hardwired to recognize faces. We see faces everywhere. There's a term for this. I can't remember what it is right now. You can let me know if you know what it is. This propensity for recognizing faces everywhere, whether they are intended to be there or not. Regardless, this propensity of the human mind, when it encounters language, to make sense when there is no sense, can do quite the opposite. And, imagine that there is confusion when there is actually nonsense. There is actually nothing there to be confused about. For instance, this question. Why are you here? Why am I here? You could answer it in all sorts of different ways. You could describe your history of how you got to this point. You could describe a purpose, an intentionality. God put me here on this earth to accomplish a divine task. Because of course we are all divinely ordained heroes that are irreplaceable. And a lot of us believe this nonsense. It flatters our ego to believe that you're special, that you're unique, that you have a purpose. Or you could go the existentialist route, say there's only the sense and the purpose that we make for ourselves, and it is in the encounter with the absurd, the meaninglessness, the emptiness of existence, that this struggle between sense and nonsense. That is what determines our purpose. Or we could just zoom the fuck out. Zoom the fuck out. Go back to square one. Why am I here? Am I here? Yes. Yes. Are you here? Yes. Why? Why is the sky blue? Don't give me a fucking answer. It's proverbial. Jesus Christ. Hate you people. Why doesn't always have an answer. You see, language misleads us into philosophical problems, and they are the result of a lot of confusion and stress in our day-to-day lives, and they don't need to be. One of the philosophers that I think is the most valuable and misappreciated, misunderstood of the modern times, perhaps the last real philosopher, Ludwig Wittgenstein, a philosopher of language. This is the man that I have been paraphrasing for you today, in my way. This perspective that there are no philosophical problems, but only problems of language, and that an analysis and a breakdown of the language that is involved in the posing of these so-called philosophical problems, if we actually look at these things clearly, analytically, break them down, once everything is sorted, it is revealed that there are no philosophical problems. There is simply what is, and whether or not we will accept it, and what we choose to do with what we do or do not accept. Philosophers have arguably created a multitude of these philosophical problems in order to keep themselves in business. Confusion is a very profitable business. If you can create confusion, you can create people who are lost. If you create people who are lost, they will be searching for the peace of mind that they once had, perhaps when they were children or at other peaceful times in their lives. But if this confusion is exactly false, and they are searching for answers to questions that are false, that is essentially a bottomless pit of opportunity to make money. Sell them this answer, sell them that answer. Tell them that they need to devote their lives to your purpose, to your God, to your business venture. Anything will save you. Except the idea that you don't need saving. Except for the idea that you're fine, however the fuck you are right now. And there's been a lot of people who have tried to confuse you and get you out of sorts, shaken from your center, shaken from the true knowledge that you have in your core, that you are. And that's enough. That is enough. I hope that you hear me today. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.